Welcome to Queen Bee's, Colorado, place where you'll always know what's happening in and around Denver. Today we'll discuss this beautiful spring weekend that's coming up. Next week is the spring break for Denver Public Schools, so you'll want to know what you can do with your kids next week. This weekend, the zoo is sold out, so you won't be able to do that with your kids unless you've already bought tickets. You can still get into the Denver Children's Museum, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, Botanic Gardens, Chatfield Gardens. There are several places you can go with your kids. You can take them to Lava Island. What kid doesn't like to jump and scream and run and climb up every damn thing? Sorry if you hear children in the background. That's my niece and my nephew back there just playing around. Also, this weekend, it's going to be 70 to 80 degrees, so it's a great time to bust out the hiking boots and head for the trails. If you're not from Colorado, one of the things you need to learn is to hydrate before you go hiking and while you're hiking, because 5280, you get pretty dry up there. I'd like to give you a couple of trails to start with if you're new to hiking. Roxborough State Park is a lovely hike. The trails are easy, not too difficult, and you have a beautiful view. Castlewood Canyon, also a beautiful hike. Pretty fairly simple, not too hard. It's just outside of Parker, right before you get to Colorado Springs. So not too far from Denver. You can also hike Lair of the Bear. That's a great one to hike with children. I will be hiking this weekend. Also, if you're hiking, one thing you need to realize is you don't all have to go to the same trail. Colorado has 42 state parks, and spread the wealth. Just spread the wealth. Nobody has to go to the same park over and over again. We also have 4 national parks. So if you can't get into Rocky Mountain National Park, it's a great weekend to go for a drive. Go down to the Gunnison. Beautiful. Black Canyon of the Gunnison. Beautiful. Go, enjoy. Maybe go down and see Mesa Verde. Now, Mesa Verde, we're going to talk about that later in other shows. That place is amazing. And the history behind it is even better. Also, this weekend, if you want to make some new friends, which most people do, especially if you're not from Colorado, or even if you are from Colorado, or you're just thinking about moving here and you need stuff and you want to know what you should do in Colorado, I'm here to help you find your bliss. One of the things that I love about Colorado is that there's always something to do. I know most people move here and there's nothing to do on the weekend. I'm bored. I'm in the house. I'm a housewife. I have nothing to do. I don't know what to do. Well, if you're a book reader, you could always join a book club. I'm in a book club at Pauline Robinson Library. See, it was started by Black people because they didn't really think we read and they didn't think it would last, but they just celebrated 25 years, and it's an accomplishment for those ladies at that book club. I joined not about maybe 3-4 years. I joined because my mom and my auntie are part of it. This month's book, by the way, is called Sisters in Arms. It's a great book and a quick read, about 350 pages. Um, it's basically about the all Black female battalion in World War II. First Black female battalion. Great read. It's a simple, amazing read. You'll love it. I recommend this book. This is a great read. Also, for those of you who are new to Colorado or you're not really sure what you should be doing and how you should be doing it, there is this great little helper for you. It's the Little Black Book. You can get it at the Blair Caldwell Library. You can also get it at Brother Jeff's Cultural Center if he has any more. We're going to talk about Brother Jeff too. Love Brother Jeff. If you want to know what's happening in Denver politics and not get it from the news, but from actual mouths of our Black politicians and our Black activists, then you definitely should tune in to Brother Jeff every day at 2 o'clock because he talks to everybody. He has his hands in a little bit of everything. He's amazing. The Little Black Book is the Metro Denver resource for entertainment and other resources. I love it because it gives you a list of Black owned restaurants that you can spend your money at, which is mostly what I do. You can get the Black owned churches, all the churches in town, restaurants. One little thing in here though, intersections. It's an amazing brunch place. Amazing. The food there is great. The owner comes out, talks to you. Except I went to intersections this weekend and it's closed. I don't know if it's closed permanently. It could just be a temporary thing, but it is closed. So if you happen to get the Little Black Book and you see intersections, just know that for right now, it's closed. So is Kabod Coffee in Northfield. Now, that is a story that kind of makes no sense to me. But once again, the owner, who is well liked by the people in Northfield, is having a hard time with the person who owns the lease to her building. So now all of her stuff is wrapped up and stored because she can't rent her building right now because they want to rent it to somebody else. They want to rent it to somebody that's not this color. That's what that is. There's a lot of that going on in Colorado. We don't see people, we only see profit. Another thing going on this weekend, karaoke. Oh my God, I love karaoke. I do karaoke every weekend. And if you want to meet some new friends or just hang out and hear some people sing, either really well or really badly, go to a karaoke bar. And I'm going to tell you which ones to go to, or which ones to frequent, or how much fun you can have. So tomorrow night, karaoke is at Legends in Aurora off of Iliff and 225 with KJ Kimmy, Uncle Dutchie's favorite niece. She's amazing. And as always, when you go to karaoke, this is how it should work. Usually, you go to karaoke, you sign up for your song. It's old singer, new singer, old singer, new singer, old singer, new singer. Now, if you come in late and you sign up after the first rotation, you're going to have to wait to sing. Let's not bother the KJ because that's just rude. Wait your turn. Also, you can check out karaoke at Inga's. You can check out karaoke at Mr. A's. You can check out karaoke at WT Shorty's on Wednesday nights from 8 to 12. That one is with Kim also. Also, you can check out karaoke with DJ K-Dub. Yeah, that's one too. You can check out. That's at Randall's on Wednesday nights. I think it starts at 5. Go out, have some fun. It's right here on 34th in York. Maybe go into Randall's, have a drink, have some food, sit down, enjoy the environment. Also, this weekend, as far as hiking goes, please, for the love of God, don't go on a hike and then get dehydrated. It doesn't work. Come say hi. Come say hi. Say hi. Say hi. That's Anila. She's gonna be 6 this week. Aren't you?
7.
Oh wait, she's gonna be 7. My bad. She's gonna be 7 this week. April 1st. Her birthday is April Fool's Day. And then of course, there's Jante.
I'm 6.
You're not 6. So I spend a lot of time with the children. As you can see, there's always children around me. Either my niece, great niece and nephew, or my grandkids. Because I'm always doing something. That's why I suggest for parents, taking your kids to Lava Island. Let them run around. Let them jump. Tire them out. Then you can take them home and get a nap. So, also, um, Black Dollar Saturdays is tomorrow at Brother Jeff's Cultural Center. That's at 2863 Welton. Now, Black Dollar Saturdays is it's the best entrepreneurs, especially here, especially Black entrepreneurs. All you do is set up a table at Brother Jeff's place, and people come in and buy what you're selling. That happens between 11 and 5 every Saturday. So if you're looking to connect with people or buy some products, go to Brother Jeff's. Now, let's talk about some of the things that are happening in the news here in Colorado. We've got the mayor of Pickleball got arrested. Well, actually, he turned himself in because, you know, he drew some lines on the floor at the Central Park Rec Center to show you where the boundaries are for pickleball. He asked the staff at the Denver Parks and Rec for the permanent marker they gave him, and then they proceeded to charge him with criminal mischief because the person in charge of the rec center told the staff to use a solvent to remove the permanent marker when he could have just used rubbing alcohol and caused no problem whatsoever. So now the mayor of Pickleball is looking at a criminal mischief charge for the dumbest reason ever. You've got Charles Burrell's house over here on 27th and Garfield. It's either going to be torn down or it's being sold. Either way, it's kind of like a historic landmark. Charles Burrell lived there for 20 years. He was one of the first Black men in the Denver Symphony with his bass. He was an amazing jazz artist. But again, if we don't care about history, why are we expected to have other people care about history? And I say that because a lot of things have been torn down lately and replaced by things that aren't so beautiful. If you've grown up here in Colorado, you've seen some of the destruction that has happened under our government, our politicians who don't seem to care anything about Denver and its history. I drove down Colfax and Smiley's was torn down yesterday. So was the Ramada. If you're from Colorado, then you know that Smiley's was a laundromat. And, it was a 24-hour laundromat. So, 5 o'clock in the morning, you want to go wash your clothes? Go wash your clothes, get it in, get it out. There was a lot going on at Smiley's. It was just one of those places where you would see some things and you shake your head and you just go, that can't be what I'm seeing, but it's exactly what you were seeing. That was Smiley's. We've had lots of construction going on around Colorado, but it doesn't seem like anything ever gets fixed. I mean, have you seen some of the damn potholes driving down York Street? Mess up your whole damn car. The Denver Mart is actually being torn down too. I mean, if you've never been to the Denver Mart, then you probably wouldn't miss it. But I used to go to a lot of jewelry shows there. My mom went to a lot of quilting shows there. She's a quilter. By the way, if you ever want to buy a quilt, let me know. Hit me in the comments. My mom sells quilts and they're amazing. I will post pictures on this page so you can see some of her handiwork. I will also post links to Brother Jeff, to other restaurants that I love and enjoy. I will post links every week for things for you to get into. We'll post links to the parks that you might want to go hiking at that most people don't even know about. There are a lot of parks in Colorado that people don't hike because they only go to the big parks. But there are a lot of beautiful small parks that nobody actually goes to. You also can, once spring has completely come, I mean, it's spring now, but things have not melted yet. But once things start to melt, you will find that Colorado has 82 waterfalls and they're all equally stunning. in their own way. We have 4 national parks. I mean, if you can't get into one, you go to another. One of my favorite restaurants closed week before last. Wilson Street Cafe. Here's hoping they come back very, very soon. It was the one place in Five Points, which is a historic district, but you wouldn't know it by what's going on with all the gentrification. And by the way, gentrification has its place. It really does. But it didn't happen overnight. Gentrification did not happen overnight. But the reason Five Points gentrification is so disconcerting is because it was a Five Points was the Harlem of the West. So there were a lot of black-owned businesses, black pride. People took pride in their businesses. But when those people who owned the businesses in Five Points decided they wanted to retire and give it to their children or grandchildren, those same people decided, oh, we don't want to live in the hood. We don't want to be in the hood anymore. We can do better. We want to go outside of the hood. We want to go to Green Valley Ranch. We want to go to Centennial. We want to go to Littleton. We want to go to Boulder. We want to be where, we have some status. You probably would have better status if you'd stayed in the Five Points with the black-owned businesses than moving other places. I mean, we gave away our heritage, basically. And I'm going to tell you why I say that, because my grandmother did not work. My grandfather did. My grandmother did not work. She babysat for other people, and she was able to pay off her home. And I'm going to take you on a tour of that neighborhood soon. But she paid off her home. It was paid off, and when she passed away, it went to her children. My grandmother had 9 children. Well, 8 when she passed, because my uncle passed away when he was younger. But her home is now no longer the family home, what she wanted. It's not the family home anymore. It is somebody else lives there, which is sad. It's very sad. So when I say that we gave away our heritage, it's true. A lot of us have given away our heritage. We've been ingrained. It was ingrained enough since childhood that we should move out of our neighborhoods to do better than what? These houses down here in Northeast Denver are built a lot better than the newer homes that are being thrown up. That's just my opinion, I'm sure. But there are a lot of homes in Northeast Denver that are brick homes that are built a lot better than the newer homes in, say, Green Valley Ranch or Centennial or even in Central Park. I mean, you're paying for the name. You're not actually paying for the property. You're paying for the name. Fucking Central Park used to be an airport. An airport, by the way, that was named after a racist Ku Klux Klan leader. Yay, Denver. So, gentrification, while some parts of gentrification are great, like, getting stoplights put at places that they never were before, because I have found that when Caucasians move into your neighborhood, shit gets done. A lot of stuff gets done. There never used to be a turn signal at 26 and Colorado Boulevard, but now there is one. There never used to be a sign that said no turn on red on 26 and Colorado Boulevard until now, which is weird. There are a lot of things. Then there are actually stop signs in Colorado that need turn signals, like the one on Martin Luther King and Monaco. That whole light system is completely off. So if you move here, or you are from here, or you're not from here, that is one of the things you have to get used to is the lights. They're not all synchronized. They're kind of off. Like, you could be at Monaco and Martin Luther King, and one light will change green and the other one will stay red, and then you drive, accident waiting to happen. Wow. Anyhow, I'm off my tangent. So, again, like I said, if you're new to Colorado or you're thinking of moving here, there are some things that you should know. Like maybe there's a lot of homeless people here. And I'll tell you why. There's so many homeless people here now because it's too expensive to live here. Way too expensive. I mean, I bought a house 13 years ago and I still couldn't afford to buy a home in North City Park where I grew up at because it was still too expensive. But I still managed to buy a home in Park Hill, cash, mind you. I bought my home 13 years ago for cash and I'm still there. But, every week somebody is sending a card or a letter asking me if they can buy my home. My mom gets letters, phone calls every week, people asking to buy her home. Problem is, if my mom sells her home, where is she supposed to go? She's 73 years old. She's just supposed to up and leave this house that she's been in for 44 years and go where? Nowhere, actually. There's nowhere to go. Everywhere in the Mile High City is expensive. Houses going for $730,000. It's expensive. I mean, really. 2 bedrooms in Park Hill. There's a 2 bedroom house right now in Park Hill. That's $500,000. Really? For what? For what? It's ridiculous. No one should have to decide between living, taking their medication, getting groceries, or living on the streets. And that's why we have so many homeless people, because there's no affordable housing here in Colorado. None. Not at all. I don't even think they know what affordable housing means. Used to be that you could get a house and, you could have a house, you could work one job, you could live on one income and be fine. But those days in Colorado are sadly gone. So, just for those of you thinking of moving here or even thinking about moving away from here, remember that. And a lot of it has to do with people from Texas, New York, California. You move here from those places and you say, oh, it's cheap here. It's nice here. They don't pay taxes on certain things, but the taxes on your car, that's going to be murder. I don't even know why registering your car costs so damn much. Way too damn much. It's a problem. But if you're not But if you love it here like I do, and I do love it here, I've lived here my whole entire life. I love it here, but I don't love what it's becoming. So I'm going to stop talking now. But just to recap, this weekend, the Denver Zoo is closed. Well, it's not closed, it's sold out. So if you don't have tickets for this weekend, you're not going to get them. Denver Children's Museum, Denver Museum of Nature and Science, Denver Art Museum, all are open. Meow Wolf, that's another place you can take your kids. They would love it. Colorado brings in a lot of things for people to do, like the Dr. Seuss experience. That's great. I love Dr. Seuss, but paying $40, $30 per person, I mean, is it really worth it? Do we really want our kids to be we want our kids to get culture and we want our kids to have experiences, but it isn't for every kid. It's really not, especially when their parents can't afford it. Are you making it affordable for everybody or just some people? That's a question you might want to ask yourself. So tune in once a week or every day. Depends on when I feel like making videos. But tune in and let's talk about Colorado, my favorite place. See you later. Okay, I need you to watch